Hello, how are you doing? Welcome once again to my Criminal Chronicle channel. In today's case, we will see the story of a girl of only 24 years who was a victim of her own boyfriend, who exerts on her constraint, control, and mistreatment to the point of murdering her. I'll be giving you all the details that are known about the case, so stay until the end of the video. This is 24-year-old Andra Nitú, originally from Romania. The Nitú were a family of 4 who arrived in Spain in 2010. The father worked in an automotive workshop, and the mother took care of household chores. The eldest daughter was Andra and the youngest exempt, who was 17 years old at the time of the events. The family lived in Alcuin Plains, a municipality in the autonomous community of Andalusia, Spain. Andra was characterized by being a cheerful, flirt-taking, and very familiar girl. She had finished high school and dreamed of becoming a pharmacist, but unfortunately, the family's economic situation at the moment did not allow her to start her higher studies. He had also not found work, so he was dedicated to helping his mother in the housework. Her boyfriend was named Andra Nitú, 29, who was also Romanian. They maintained a relationship at a distance because Andra lived in Roquetas de Mar, another of the municipalities of Almeria about 35 kilometers away, where he also worked in a plastics company for greenhouses. The couple of boyfriends only saw each other on weekends, and according to his brother, with the passing of time they looked less. They were in a 2-year relationship when Andra decided to end. As her friend Daniela recounted in September 2016, Andra learned that Andra had been in jail on a theft charge, and this led her to make the decision to move away from him. This was confirmed by the authorities after the event occurred. Andra ended that relationship, but Andra never accepted the breakup. He continued to travel on weekends, in this case to keep an eye on her and harass her. He even told the family that if he couldn't be happy, Andra and they wouldn't be either. Andra was abusive and constantly threatened her. Her family said she went so far as to send her text messages telling her that if she left him she would kill her, and that he also threatened to put acid in her face. All these things had Andra very worried and scared. However, the Nitú family never made a complaint against Andra, which was perhaps their big mistake. Are you liking this case? Then subscribe to my channel right now. Come on, what are you waiting for to subscribe? By subscribing, YouTube will warn you every time you download new content, and you will not miss anything. Continuing the case. On Sunday, April 9, 2017, around noon, Andra went out shopping to prepare a family lunch, and it was the last time she was seen alive. Shortly after leaving the house, the family heard a vehicle's tires squeaking off at full speed. The exact details are unknown, but it is believed that Andra was watching outside the house, and when Andra left, he took the opportunity to board her and take her away. After the time, the family began to worry when they saw that Andra did not return. Alarm bells went off, as it was a weekend. Andra was very likely to be in the area. The parents immediately knew that something bad was going on because she wouldn't have left without warning them. The father tried to contact her by phone, but who answered his mobile was Andra, told her that Andra did not want to talk to them, and hung up immediately. They insisted on calling the mobile, but did not answer the following calls again. That was the last thing they knew about Andra, who was in Andra's hands. It is then that they report to the authorities of the disappearance of their daughter, giving all the information of the call and the history of threats of her ex-boyfriend. "We are sure that she was taken away by force, because my girl does not leave alone," Violetta, the victim's mother, would say between tears. But the worst was yet to come. The next day, Monday, April 10, at about 7:30 in the morning, in the place of Rambla Lechuga next to the Alcuin neighborhood in Almeria, very close to the house of the Nitú family, a man named Alfredo went to a greenhouse of his property, along with a crew of workers, to collect tomatoes. But upon entering the facility, he found the body of an unknown man hanging from his neck, tied to the metal structure of the greenhouse stand. Mr. Alfredo immediately called the emergency services to report the finding. Moments later, police officers arrived at the scene, and while conducting research in the area, they found a hole in the side of the greenhouse. It is believed that it was made by Andre in order to be able to enter and later tie a rope to a beam from which he would later hang. It was learned that the body was shirtless, wore broken jeans, sneakers, and had blood stains. As soon as the police officers lowered the body, they began the search to determine where the blood found in Andre's body came from, as his body had no injuries. At 11 a.m., very close to the site in an irrigation ditch, police found the body of Andra Nitú. She was killed with blows to the head, and that's where the blood found on Andre's body came from. Having been notified of Andra's disappearance, when the body of a woman with her characteristics was found, the police contacted the relatives. They described the details of the clothes she was dressed in when she left the house, as well as information from tattoos that Andra had on her back and leg, so there was no longer any doubt that her body had been found. The family suspected that Andre had had an accomplice to the kidnapping. They couldn't believe her ex-boyfriend could have taken Andra on his own. However, subsequent investigations never proved the existence of an accomplice in the crime. The Nitú family, plunged into grief, decided to return to Romania with Andra's body. Her parents felt there would never be justice for their daughter's crime. That his killer would not spend years locked up in prison, and that he would not suffer any punishment. What do you think about this case? I would like to read your opinions. I say goodbye, very grateful to all of you for following me and watching my videos from many parts of the world. Please help me grow by subscribing to the channel, so I can upload content frequently. Until the next case.